All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Two in the Zone. Happy Friday. It's myself, Analytics Capper, and my guy, Dead Press Picks. He's wearing a basketball sweatshirt tonight. That's perfect. Last night, let's go through last night's game really quick. There were 5 games. Sixers, Pistons. You and I were on the Pistons for small. They actually were in the cover for most of the game, and then
Right.
the Pistons kind of pulled it away there towards the end. Did you watch this game?
Yeah, so I watched along pretty much, all game. Obviously, the Sixers are my squad, so it was bittersweet with them. What I did at half was I went Sixers money line, right? So I was trying to get a little middle action there, and it hit that, but still ended up losing a little bit on the game because my larger play was the Pistons. I got to ask you, AC, are we a little concerned about Kate Cunningham yet with his shooting? I mean, he's just been absolutely brutal. Every open three looks like an easy possession, and I mean, he's just throwing up bricks at the moment.
Oh my goodness. Like I've been kind of documenting his three-point shooting every single night. He started off, I believe, 1 for 19 before he hit his three, which was like a 35 footer with the
He
shot
just
clock
kind of
going
chucked it
down.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he chucked it up. But the thing is, like, he like backpedaled as if like, oh yeah, I've done this before. But no, that was
right.
his first three made in the NBA. I don't know if I'm worried. I definitely think the defenses are a lot better than he thought. I mean, he's
Hmm.
still really skilled and tall, but I think that 3-point percentage is going to struggle all year. If he could get that above 20% after starting 0 for 19, props to him. All right,
Right.
let's move on to the next one. We had the Jazz and the Hornets. The Jazz won on the road very easily, 116-98. What happened to Atlanta here? I know they were on a back-to-back, second night of a back-to-back, coming
Yeah.
back home from Brooklyn, but
Yeah, I
Utah
think
didn't
that's
have
kind of
Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what it was. I mean, we know we always talk about this. Best player goes out, team blues out. Like it's a weird trend, and
It's so weird.
Jordan Clarkson's more than capable of taking over the scoring. I mean, he was phenomenal. We know he's one of the best bench scorers in the NBA. So when he hopped in there, you knew the scoring wasn't going to fall off a ton. I was a little surprised with the Hawks just getting kind of blown out. Yeah, I guess the back to back. Jazz were a little more fresh in that game, but. Yeah, pretty dominant game from the Jazz in the second half. First half, it stayed back and forth. I actually think the Hawks led at half by a point or two, but the Jazz took care of business when the time mattered.
All right. Thank you, Ded. So let me go ahead and reset the room. Let me retweet this real quick because this is a
Yeah.
huge announcement. $600 giveaway. Let me retweet it for our followers. All right. Posted. All right, guys. Thank you so much again for joining. This is sponsored by our friends at Seven Stack Sports. You can see there on the screen. Please follow at Seven Stack Sports on Twitter. But they are doing an amazing giveaway. They created a YouTube channel just for this NBA show. And if you subscribe to that YouTube channel, which is just Seven Stack Sports, you are going to be eligible for $600 cash money, no attachments. So please check us out. I think Dad or myself will post out the link to the YouTube soon, so you guys can click on it. But definitely check out Seven Stack Sports. They are, one of the best, if not the best, Twitter book out there. There's a few
Hmm.
things that really differentiate them from everybody else. Like they do same day instant payouts if you're using cryptocurrency. For the entire NFL and NBA season, they're doing minus 105 lines, not minus 110. And that adds up if you're betting a ton. So minus 105 for both NBA and NFL lines, 24/7 customer service. They've been in the business for almost 4 years and almost has 2,000 customers. So please reach out to Seven Stack Sports. If you have any questions, DM myself or DM Dead Prez Picks. But please join the $600 giveaway because that is free money. All right. Anything you
Sure.
want to add to that, Dead?
Nah, I think you hit most of those points. Make sure you guys hop in. Obviously, $600 for the weekend. Who won't love that? Go have a good time with it. You throw it on some bets, whatever you want to do with it. But it's a lot
Throw
of
some
money. So
peanuts. Throw some peanuts.
yeah, right. Then make it some peanuts. So yeah, we'll definitely get involved, guys. We appreciate Seven Stacks, obviously, but Yeah. So what are we at now? You see a couple more
Yeah,
games from
next
last
game
night.
here. This was kind of surprising. I texted my buddy right before the game. I had a gut feeling, but the Celtics won outright on the road against a super hot Miami team. They won 95 to 78. Miami only scored 78. Kyle Lowry did get hurt midway through the game, but were
Mhm.
you following this game at all? This was a huge
No, I didn't
upset.
have any. I didn't have any action on this one, but I mean, what a statement, win that was for the Celtics. Seems like ever since Marcus Smart called them out a little bit, defensively they're playing much better, right? We know they could score with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. I mean, they're two of the best scorers in the game. Defensively, though, there was a ton of concern. I think prior to their last couple games, and they're a good team. Like the Celtics are a tough team, right? Do we think they're a late playoff team? Like, will they sneak in? I think their bench is a big question mark. I don't think they're deep at all, but I think they're going to be competitive in these type of games. And last night I stayed off of it. Being honest, I would have went Heat. That was my lean for that game. So I mean, I was very surprised that the Heat just
Yeah.
kind of got blown out.
Yeah, 78 points at home. I mean, that
Right.
means they were just not shooting very well. So
Hmm.
I personally went 2-1 in the NBA last night. One of my wins and play of the days was the over in the Rockets Suns game. The Rockets were on the road. They lost 111 to 123. A lot of scoring here. Were you able to follow this? I know I'm a big Jalen Green fan. Like I think he has ice in his veins. Like he's just gonna jack from anywhere. And then if you have Booker and Chris Paul, you're always going to have a well-oiled machine on offense.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it seems like the Suns the last couple of games they've been falling back. They've been a good live bet, right? Because even you can get them like -5 in the game when they're down like 6 or 7 against these bad teams. So I did jump in live and lost a live bet. I took the Rockets team total under at 107.5. So they snuck over that. That's been so good to me this year. I think I was like 5-0 on it before this game. So I tried to sneak one in there live, but. Yeah, I mean, they shot the ball really well. Like you said, they have guys who are capable. You mentioned Green, but Christian Wood also, I
Christian
think, is one
Wood.
of the more underrated players overall in the NBA. And they're not going to be good, right? But they're going to be able to maybe scare some teams, put some strike in some teams. And I believe the Suns ended up covering that, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
that
they
was
won
a
by
close game.
12.
The Rockets were up at half. Like it was a tough game. If you're a Rockets better there, but maybe they're a first half team. I don't know.
The
To
Rockets,
bet
the
because
Rockets slowly been covering, right? They covered both games
yeah,
against LA, and they basically covered this game for 90% of it. They lost at the end.
right.
So the very last game here was probably the upset of the night. Obviously, there was no LeBron James. Russell Westbrook was still like, I don't know what he's doing on defense, but he lost. So the Lakers were at home against the Thunder. The Thunder only have 3 wins on the season. Two of them are against the Los
That's
Angeles
crazy.
Lakers. OKC 107, LA 104. I know you actually had some bets on both sides, which I think ended up pretty good for you, right?
Yeah, so my bigger one was the Thunder there at +11. That was actually my biggest play of the night overall, along with Mike White's passing yards over, which was a heartbreaker because he gets hurt on the first drive. But
My gosh, he had 95 yards in one drive and
I
then got
know,
hurt.
and then he's out. But yeah, I tried to get a little crafty there at the end, threw a little peanuts on the Lakers -2. I didn't think the Thunder would beat them twice, AC. I thought that there was,
Yeah.
no way they're losing again at home, but there's something about the Thunder that getting them at like +12, 13, like I'm gonna probably keep riding it because I think they have some dogs on their team. I think
Yeah.
SGA. I know we're both big fans of his. He's been great. Josh Giddey, who I was a big fan of getting into the NBL in Australia, he's been great. I mean, his court vision is absurd, and they just have some young talent there. Baisley's a guy who maybe can work out. Dort, they're a competitive team, and the thing with teams like this during the regular season, they're good to back because they're going to give it everything on a consistent basis. These are guys working for their paycheck. They're all young guys. They really don't have a star outside of SGA, but he plays hard night in and night out. So I like this Thunder team a lot as heavy dogs going forward.
Yeah, a couple comments. I DM'd you on Instagram because I saw a video of Josh Giddey. He had game on the court and then he had game off the court as
Yep.
well. I don't know you
He
saw
was
that, but
spitting.
yeah,
That's my
he
girl.
stayed in the arena for like a good 20 minutes in his jersey, just talking to all these girls. So props to
Yeah.
him. SGA, you're right. Like I'm a big fan of him. The only thing that I'm worried with SGA is like the Bradley Beal complex. I don't want him to rot away on a bad
Mhm.
team. Like I want him to be in the playoffs. I want him to play in primetime games. So SGA, in my opinion, could be a number 2, number 3 option for a championship team, just like a Bradley Beal. So hopefully, either OKC gets better really, really quickly, or he gets moved to a contender. I would love that.
Right.
All right, let's go ahead and get into tonight's slate. It's Friday night. It's going to be action packed.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so a lot of good games tonight, AC. We love these Friday night slates because they are coming out as big. We'll start here with an interesting game, I think, between the Grizzlies and Wizards. I don't know how you feel about this. This one's a Wizard screamer for me. I love the Wizards here at home, excuse me, at -2. Um, Even the money line. So what I did, I'll give out this play now to all of you guys watching here for the NBA with the Wizards. Went on them with the money line at -121. It's going to go up. I think it'll keep going up. It was weird. So the line went down back to the Grizz today, back to a pick 'em. Now it's back up to -2. So I like the Wizards a lot here. I think the Grizzlies, a couple good wins against the Nuggets. Now they have to go into Washington, and I like this Wizards team in this spot at home tonight. How do you feel about this one?
Yes, you guys heard it here first. Is a dead play as well as an AC play. We both align on this. I do love the Wizards tonight. Memphis has been playing out of their minds.
Mm-hmm.
They're a good team. John Morant looks like he's taking the step forward to superstardom. But it's a Wizards screamer today. Why are they favored? They're favored not only by 1 but by 2, and it's steaming that way. So give me the Wizards tonight with dead press.
Yeah, we're in alignment there. All right, I see Nets, Pistons. Anything in this one? Are we back in the Pistons again here? They're +10 tonight. Over under at 210.5. Any thoughts on this?
It's hard to back the Pistons, but I'll say this: it's harder to back the Nets when they're
Mm-hmm.
laying 10 points. They're just a team to me that doesn't really care much for the regular season. There's going to be spurts and moments where either Harden goes off or Durant or even Patty Mills hits like 6 threes in a row. But it's not a team where you consistently back and actually make profit throughout the year. So as a long term handicapper, I would continue to fade Nets in these spots. But for this particular game, it's most likely a layoff for me.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I'm not touching this one by any means. Spurs Magic. We got the Spurs here as a road favorite at 3.5. Over under at 213.5. I like the Spurs a lot tonight here, AC. I just cannot back the Magic again. I backed them a couple times this year. Do you have anything in this one between the Spurs and Magic?
Yeah, this game's interesting. The Spurs are going into Orlando. Spurs are 2-6 overall. Orlando's 2-7. As far as against the spread, Spurs are actually winning, have a winning record at 5-3. Orlando's still only 3-6 against spread. This is interesting because the Spurs are coming off a crazy cover against the Mavericks on, I believe, Wednesday, when Jalen Brunson missed 2 free throws at the end. Spurs lost by 1. It was a 2-point spread. So to me, that's like a miraculous cover. I would kind of fade that spot. So if I had to pick, it would be an Orlando play, but I'm with you, Dad. Like it's hard to back the
It's
Magic.
tough backing that team. It's just they
It's
just
really
don't
tough.
have. You just never feel comfortable right back. I think a couple nights ago against the Celtics, they were up pretty big, and then you turn around and then they just weren't remotely close to a cover. So yeah, I'm going to lay off of that for sure. I'm going to be back in the Spurs in that game. Cavs Raptors here. What's up with the Cavs? Because they look like they're playing really good basketball right now. The Raptors here come in at 5.5 point favorites at home. I like the Raptors a lot here tonight. Do you have any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I love this game just from an NBA fan perspective because I love Scotty Barnes on the Raptors and I love Mobley on the Cavs. I think both rookies have been head and shoulders better than any other rookie, and I think they're both playing tonight. So I think that's a big piece in terms of just like a league pass attraction level. But the Cavs are missing K-Love, Markkanen, and Okoro. I think that's too much, honestly, to overcome. I know Siakam is still out for the Raptors, but I think the Raptors are they're sneaky like a cover team. Let me look up their stats real quick. The Raptors
Mhm.
are 5-4 against the spread. They're 6-3 overall, which is a big surprise to me because I'm on the total team under there in Toronto. But I think just having Scotty Barnes and his versatility on offense has really given that team a huge lift. So if I had to back a team in this matchup, it would probably be Toronto at home laying 5.5 points.
Yeah, I'm with you there. See, I like Toronto a lot. Another one here, scary play because you tweeted this out this morning. Unders are hitting legitimately at a just absurd rate, right? North
Yeah.
of 60%.
No.
I think it sneaks over here at 204.5. I just think that's such a low total. I know Toronto's a really good defensive team. They don't play particularly quick, but the Cavs on the flip side, they play pretty quick. They could shoot the three ball. I think that we could see that one go over. All right, this might be the best matchup of the night. The Knicks and the Bucks. The line
Ooh.
is trending towards the Knicks at +4. Bucks expected to get a couple guys back tonight. What do we think about this one here? Also, the total at 217. Do you lean any way in this one?
Yeah, I mean, props to our mutual friend Alpha Dog Bets here. He's a big Knicks fan, and it's nice to be a Knicks fan right now because they're good. They're covering. They're 5-3 overall. The Bucks actually are only 4-4, but Ded, you mentioned it. They have been dealing with a couple injuries, whether it's COVID related or back or ankle injuries. But Drew Holiday is supposed to come back today. Drew Holiday honestly is one of my favorite players in the NBA just because he's a dog on both offense and defense. I think that's enough for Milwaukee. I think Drew Holiday plus Giannis is enough at home. I understand that the line is steaming towards the Knicks, but the Knicks are one of those teams like the Cowboys and the Lakers. They're just always going to be the public team, so it makes
Right.
sense that the movement is going towards the Knicks. But I like the Bucks at home plus whatever odds it is. It's good value for me.
Right. Yeah, and I think this thing might drop to like 3.5 or 3. So maybe if you stay posted with that. I also love the Bucks tonight. All
Oh,
right,
nice.
Clippers and T-Wolves here, AC. A couple nights ago, these teams met up. Minnesota could not come out on top. This was again in Minnesota. This reminds me of that Nuggets Grizzlies thing, right? So these
Yeah.
teams once again meet. Once again, Clippers favored. The T-Wolves come out on top as a dog tonight.
This one's tough, man. They're both 3-4. They're both kind of just teetering around 500. The Clippers honestly are trending up. They've won the last two games. They just dropped 126 on Minnesota just 2 nights ago. So their offense is rolling.
Mhm.
On the other hand, Timberwolves have lost 3 in a row. Like they were one of my, you know, teams that I put a star next to in terms of like a like someone to come up in the playoffs that sucked last year. Like I thought the T-Wolves had the talent with Cat, Anthony Edwards, D'Angelo Russell, but going the wrong direction. I don't know. This is interesting. To me, the line says the Timberwolves, but
Mhm.
it's one of those instances where I can't back them right now.
Yeah, I am with you here. I probably will be on the T Wolves as this closes at +120. I think I just love the value here that we're getting. It's so tough to beat a team right back to back on a couple nights. So
Yeah.
I like the Wolves tonight. I'm not high on the Clippers right now, so I will be in full fade mode on the Clippers tonight. All right, Hornets Kings AC. Kings come into this one as a 2-point favorite. Do you like the Hornets as dogs tonight?
This one's tough. The Kings are one of my teams. I'm on the team total over here for the season with the Kings, actually with the Hornets as well. But the Hornets, they played Golden State pretty tough there a couple nights ago, and um, honestly, that fourth quarter was terrible. Like their offense went out of whack. They're
Mm-hmm.
usually a really good second half team. Honestly, Gary Payton Jr. on
He's
Golden
a
State
stud,
kind
that
of
man.
it's like completely killed them on defense. So I don't think there's anyone on the Kings that can play defense like that. With that being said, I know there's a big under trend right now, hitting about 63%. But if I had to choose something on this game, I actually like the over. I did play the over on the Kings Pelicans a couple nights ago, which didn't hit. I think it may hit tonight. So give me the
Wow, how about
over.
that? You see, we see a total in the 230s.
I know it's like 2020 again.
That's got to be the first. That's definitely the first time this week. So 231.5 guys is the total there. I'm with you though. If the total's that high, it's that high for a reason, especially with the rule adjustments and the rule changes. We've seen unders hitting at an absurd rate this season. All right, AC Pelicans Warriors. Any reason to back the Pels tonight as a +10 road dog in Golden State? Over under at 214.
Yeah, there's no way. This is a Warriors play. Warriors were a really good I mean, they still are a really good first half team, but they did not cover against the Hornets first half. I think they're going to cover tonight, the first half, and probably the game too, which is pretty rare. Like when a favorite covers the first half and the game, but I think we're going to see that tonight in this game. I just can't back the Pelicans. Again, I mentioned this on Wednesday, but it's a huge transition year for them. Willie Green as a rookie head coach. There's still no Zion. Brandon Ingram is the only guy that can put the ball in the bucket, so it's kind of easy just to zero in on him. So give me the Warriors. I think they just kind of blow them out tonight.
I'm with you here. I think it's the Warriors and the Warriors big. A play I love, though, in this game is the Warriors team total over at
Nice.
111.5. I just don't see a way the Pelicans stop them. Not a good defensive team, and the Warriors are shooting the lights out, right? Jordan Poole looks like a little
He's
Klay
a
Thompson
baller.
out there.
Yeah, he's
I
a
mean,
baller.
he's been phenomenal. And you got to remember with the Warriors, AC, they're off to a smoking hot start, and they don't even have Klay or Wiseman that are going to come back in. So, I mean, right now, they're the best team in the West. I don't think we can really debate that. Their ball movement's been absurd. They have great shooting from him. Also, Damian Lee's been a guy who's came on the scene pretty hot. I mean, they have shooters surrounded, everywhere it looks like. And
let's stay on the Warriors here. I know you're a big Philly fan, big Sixers fan. If Ben Simmons were to get moved to the Warriors, what package would you want back?
Well, you're clear. I don't think, to tell you the truth, at this point, his value, I don't think it would be worth. You know what I mean? I don't think we would get anything worth it. Like, they're not going to give. Obviously, I don't think they would involve Wiseman, because that was the initial thought, right? Was getting Wiseman. I mean, personally, I wouldn't take Wiseman because of the Sixers situation with Embiid, right? We don't really need a big man.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you put Ben in Golden State with those shooters, that'd be a scary sight.
He's just a younger, more athletic Draymond Green, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, I'm not stupid. I know he's still a phenomenal player, even though I'm not a big fan of his at the moment. But I mean, he would elevate them to a different level.
Would you do Draymond and Wiggins? I'm just throwing names out there.
I don't think I would rather just take a bunch of draft capital. I mean, I'm not a Wiggins guy at all. So
I think if the Warriors are gonna make a trade, they're gonna include Wiggins with something. So
I don't think they want Wiggins either. I think
no one wants Wiggins.
I mean, he probably holds some type of value, just not a ton. Because you got to remember, he's still fairly young, right? Like, it's not like he's super old.
He is. Yeah, he is what he is. He's not going to improve much from what he is now.
Right.
And that's honestly, on a bad team, he can score 20 points, but on a good team, it's hard to rely on someone like that in the playoffs.
Right. Yeah. No, I'm with you there. So, I mean, we'll have to see. But right now, at the moment, I think they're the best team in the West. And they're just going to get better moving forward. I mean, you're bringing back one of the best players in the NBA in Klay Thompson. So, I mean, they're going to be unbelievable to watch. But I'm with you tonight. I think it is definitely a Warriors play. So, AC, I believe that wraps up all the games tonight, unless I missed one here. I don't think I did.
There is one, the Pacers and the Blazers. The Blazers
Blazers,
now,
Blazers,
I believe.
there you go.
Yeah, Blazers are a 4.5-point favorite at home. Dame has been terrible so far this year. Is this a dead press special where you actually back the dog here?
I think I'm going to go with the Blazers tonight because I don't understand why they're such heavy favorites. Now, Malcolm Brogdon also, I just got an alert as we were, on the show that Brogdon now is questionable to go. So if he does not go, this thing's going to end up at 5 or 6. Now, the thing with the Blazers is, a couple nights ago, I got a -3, right, against the Cavs. They close -6 and they lose outright. So there's no value. You feel like when you beat a line by 3 points, you're going to be rewarded. Not the case with the Blazers. I have a lot of question marks right now with them. Yeah, I mean, Dame's so good, you just figure, hey, he's going to snap out of it.
It's been 2 weeks now. It's been like
that's what I mean. Like, when's he going to snap out of it?
It's been 10 games. We haven't seen a Dame 35, 40-point game yet. I don't know if he's interested. I mean, when he was in Philly, when the Blazers were playing the Sixers, and the crowd chanted, "We want Dame," and then Chauncey said, "So do we," under his breath. Like that is pretty telling, because if the head coach doesn't think that the player is involved, then I mean, I think they've already lost him. I think he's trying to get his way out. This is my opinion. Last year, Harden was like super direct.
Or
Like,
you
I
think
don't want
Dame's
to.
trying to get his way out of
Yeah,
Portland?
like Harden was like, I don't want to be in Houston, so he just started tanking. Like
Mhm.
he put on like 20 pounds overnight. Somehow he lost the 20 pounds when he got to Brooklyn. But I think like Dame wants the same thing, but he doesn't want any enemies. Like he wants to stay loved by fans. So
Yeah.
instead of doing that, he's still playing, but he's not playing up to Dame standards.
Interesting theory. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. I think he'll snap out of it. I hope he does tonight because I think this is a Blazers play, in this spot. I don't think backing the Pacers, especially if we don't see Brogdon tonight after a big win for them over the Knicks, maybe a bit of a letdown spot for them tonight. AC, before we wrap this up, I just hyped up the $600 giveaway. So do you want to explain that, or you want me to explain that, and then we'll
Yeah, we
get.
could both do it. Both do it. So again, thank you to our sponsors at Seven Stack Sports. Let me go ahead and put that little banner up. Follow them at Seven Stack Sports on Twitter. But they created a YouTube channel for us. So go to their YouTube. You can find it at Seven Stacks. Either DM them, myself, or Dead Prez. But if you follow and subscribe that YouTube channel, you're going to be eligible to win $600 cash money, no attachments. I checked the YouTube channel this morning. There's like only 100 subscribers. So you have a good shot at the $600. I think he's running the giveaway for another week. So, I mean, just tell your friends, tell your mom and dad, tell your family members, like get on this YouTube. It's free money. So, definitely check that out.
Yeah, for sure. And make sure you guys check it out. Well, you will tweet it back out tonight. We tweeted the giveaway a few days ago, all three of our accounts. But make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel. We also appreciate everybody who's hopped on the live stream, AC. Our last show, over 5,000
Yeah.
views.
4,000 in episode 1, 5,000 in episode 2. So let's try to get to 6,000 in this episode.
We're due for a break today, yeah. So I mean, but we appreciate everyone because we know it's in the middle of a lot of people's days, working, school, whatever. So we appreciate everybody that's hopped on, and then always available to play these back via Twitter and the YouTube. But make sure you guys for sure check out that YouTube because we want to get someone $600, and like
Yeah.
AC said, we want to get thousands of people involved in that, but. Yeah, definitely a good idea to hop on and get some weekend money, for everyone.
All right, Joe. Thank you so much, Dad. Great